What is a family? Do they give hugs? How do you become a part of a family? Is family a company? Or is it the company that we keep? Are these a family? Does the chipset matter? Is being on a team a kind of family? And some would say that we're already one big family. We just forget it sometimes. And for all our similarities, and despite our differences, can family be more than just a biological classification? And what about the constructed communities we find ourselves in, both physical and virtual? Can that be considered family? If you don't know where to start looking in this wide world, maybe this is where you'll find it. Anthro Northwest is like a family reunion, a family-focused convention that this year asks us to consider that question. And I'm sure you'll want to know whether it was worth going to this year. But I think we first have to reflect on the previous years first. So if you want to know whether you should go to Anthro Northwest, what makes this con unique from any other con on the circuit, and what family can mean to you, keep watching.
Speaking of, welcome to Anthro Northwest.
Welcome to Anthro Northwest! Yeah!
Perfect, thank you so much.
Thank you!
Much like we journey to conventions, ANW's themes follow the journey of life. Much like Andy, ANW's wolf mascot, we adventure, we meet friends, we fall in love and get married, and form families of our own. And just saying, I wish I could find a cute person like Cove the Otter myself. Someday. These mascots travel many of the same roads we do and will, and 3 new faces help remind us about all the forms that family take, starting with this profoundly powerful promo piece.
There's a lot been happening at Andy and Cove's house this last year. They have been starting a family too. You might remember that last year Andy and Cove had found an egg and they were walking around convention space with it. It was abandoned in the forest. Well, they took care of that egg and it hatched. Please welcome Storm. Storm is a wood and independent osprey. They are graceful, charitable, pretty chill most of the time, sweet, and they love to dance. Storm's markings represent the weather of the Pacific Northwest, because we got so much moisture up here. Their markings feature bolts of lightning, clouds, and raindrops, just like the weather out here. So Andy and Co have been raising them as their own, watching the other birds in the forest, trying to get some parenting examples. You know, as a wolf and an otter, it's a little tricky to raise a bird, but you know, love gets them through each day. They love their child so much. Storm is 15. There's also Gio, who was found in the forest one day while Andy, Cove, and Storm were walking around. It was clear that he needed someone to care for him and he was all alone. Please welcome Gio. Gio is super laid back. He tends to be content and diligent. He's a really good problem solver. He likes to collect rocks and minerals, spend his time building things with his hands. Gio's pretty much all around sweetie. Don't know these songs. He's age 10. So 5 years after Gio was adopted, Sprout was born. She is the child of Andy and Cove and is super sweet. Please welcome Sprout. She's pretty bouncy. She tends to be curious, excitable, and she really loves bugs. She's got a leaf marking on her back representing forest, and a small meandering river that runs around her lower back and tail. She is 5. Alright. You know, as often happens in life, Andy and Cove didn't really choose to start a family. You know, we never know when we'll be called to be a parent. Sometimes people show up in our life who need a family. And family is perhaps the most beautiful gift that can possibly be given. It represents an incredible commitment, but through it you can experience some of the most amazing forms of love that life has to offer. I hope all of you have family, and for those who don't, I hope perhaps you find what you need in this community that's filled with love. You know, at Anthro Northwest, we try to bring out the best, not only on the outside, where we have a lot of beauty with costumes and stuff, like everybody gets that, but what's inside is really important. Community is so important.
And speaking of what's inside, whether it's in our suits, in our hearts, or in our bellies, what better way to start talking about the unique parts of ANW than to start with the Winter Feast. Included in every tier of registration is a ticket to the Winter Feast. This dinner is a gesture of community from the con to its attendees, as close to a giant fandom family dinner as it gets on the con circuit. You'll want to save room for dessert because it does look delicious. Milo's Winter Invocation sets the tone for the weekend as performances and the charity entertain diners.
I think a lot of times when we talk about family, we're talking about the people that are related to you by blood. And something that I've come to find is that the people that are the most family to me are the people who aren't even related to me. I've made some wonderful, amazing friends in this community, and I'm just so grateful for how this community has just kind of taken me in and allowed me to grow and blossom. And it's just amazing to me how open and accepting this fandom is. So for me, family means furry. The furry fandom is my family.
Still hungry, or are your eyes bigger than your stomach? In any case, it's time to browse around. Looking for something you won't find at a corporate store? The Dealer's Den and Artist Alleys are as close as you'll get to a family flea market. Just hold the fleas. Whether you want to add a new suit or character to your family, or just freshen up, I'm sure you'll find some adorable merchandise made by local craftspeople. I'm sure your head's spinning from all the things to see and buy around here, but if you've picked something out, point it out in the comments and let me know what your favorite things are to buy in the Dealer's Den. And make sure to check out all of the dealers because some of these things might still be for sale if you've fallen in love with a suit. Other than that, happy shopping. But that's not all. It's easy to get turned around, but there's still the Artist Alley to check out. It doesn't get more bespoke or handcrafted than this, with each day having a menagerie of new local artists to check out. The day isn't over just yet, so now that you've bought a bunch of cool stuff, it's time to check out the con proper. But before we leave, let's make a note to check out the F-Class booth after hours. If you're looking to add a new member to your family, why not pick up a plushie and donate to charity? For those of us who haven't found all our parts yet, sometimes it takes a family to stitch us back up again. Why not start some new bonds at the Franken plushie panel? Anthro Northwest panel schedule focuses on family-friendly programming with arts and crafts tables on each floor of the con in between events, such as drawing with your favorite furry personalities. Why not help your favorite friends and draw some things for charity? Or just staying around for a bit of story time. There are plenty of community meetups to be a part of and plenty of panels for every interest. Make sure you check out this year's schedule for more, because you never know what you might miss otherwise. You don't have to be a cat to enjoy hanging around a box fort. Grab some markers and draw to your heart's content. Anthro Northwest's unique layout of 5 floors on top of each other provides plenty of space to interact and enjoy wandering the con's halls, with each floor having something unique to offer. Don't have a fursuit? Why not take some pictures and bring home some memories? You don't need a fursuit to take part in the panels either, so don't feel you need one to fit in. A fursuit parade is like a family photo in motion, memories walking past into the future. A look back at all the wonderful costumes, yet like every parade, every journey comes to an end. At the start of the video, we experience the journey of life, and whether long or short, every journey ends in remembrance. The Tree of Remembrance celebrates those who walked with us on these paths, and is one of the only cons that gives a place a purpose to this sort of finality in a way that lets us remember the good times. Are these jokes even funny anymore? Look, if you're looking for something a little more after dark, consider going to FC or TFF instead. Anthro Northwest's strict dress code and con culture might leave you a little thirsty in more ways than one, but that doesn't mean there's nothing to do after dark. Whether you're an old soul or feeling your muzzle gray over in real time, the formal ball is a fantastic way to enjoy a night out without the usual con rave vibe. Grab your partner and do-si-do down to the dance floor of your spiffiest and most dashing dress outfits. That doesn't mean that there are no parties around either. Whether room parties or F-Class's promotional gala, the night is still young. Check out all of their merch at their booth and 3 new teams based on foxes, bunnies, and Roombas. Live DJ dance battles play as people dance and shop at F-Class's premiere event. So far, hopefully I get to see more of these in the future at different cons as well. But that's not the last we'll see of avian invasion at the con.
A little nonsense is what I need. Now if you wanna get the best of me, got you smiling, that's for sure. Funny how you had the best of you.
But if you are looking for the traditional con rave, they've got that too. Dance the night away alone or with a friend. You'll hear the typical con rave DJs perform, though I've noticed a lot more inspiration from the 80s and some very eclectic song choices compared to other conventions farther east. And if you like to dance, make sure to try out for the dance competitions. There's both Floor Wars style exhibitions and the dance competition itself. Dance furs are kind of like a family in of themselves. and I'm so glad that I get to be invited to these sorts of reunions where they show off their best moves in front of an audience. Make sure you line up early to these events because seating is limited and people can sometimes line up for hours just to get a front row seat. But if you want to check out a bunch of dance competitions from a whole lot of different cons, you know where to find them. Hint, it's right on my channel. And even though it's time to go, the memories we've made will keep us together. For better or worse, being able to make these wonderful memories is what keeps us together, keeps us traveling to conventions, and keeps us one big furry family. I'll see you next time.